Have we ever felt as though the weight of the world rests upon our shoulders? Felt tired, hopeless, and believed that what we do each day is nothing more than a meaningless routine? There is a story from a corner of a bustling city about a man who found purpose in the most unexpected of places. This is the story of a man named Samuel, keeper of a hopeful lantern. Samuel was in his twilight years, well past the age of 70. Every night, as the city began to fall asleep, his duty would just start. He was a nighttime cleaner in a city park. A simple job, one that often went unnoticed by most. With his old cart, he would walk the quiet footpaths, picking up the remnants of the day's crowds. However, there was one thing that made him so remarkable. On his worn-out cart, amongst the broom and the trash bags, always hung an old lantern. Not a modern flashlight, but an oil lantern that cast a warm, comforting, yellow glow. Those who happened to see him might have wondered, what was the lantern for? The park's lamps were already bright enough after all. That lantern held a story, a promise he made to himself decades ago. Once, long ago, Samuel had been at the darkest point of his life. He had lost everything: his family, his job, and his hope. Every night he would wander aimlessly through the dark streets, feeling empty and unseen, as if he were just another part of the encroaching shadows. Then one night, at the peak of his despair, his eyes caught the faint glimmer of a small lantern in front of a modest home. The light wasn't bright. It was barely more than a flicker. But in the suffocating darkness, that small light was the only thing he could see. Its warmth seemed to touch his frozen soul, giving him a sliver of hope. A silent reminder that even in the deepest darkness, a light will always find a way to shine. That moment changed everything. From then on, Samuel promised himself that no matter what he did in life, he wanted to be like that little lantern. And so, the lantern he carried each night was not to light his own path. He lit that lantern for others. That light was a silent message. For the student walking home with their head held low after failing an exam. For a father walking with heavy steps, worried about his family's future. For anyone who felt alone, walking through their own inner darkness. Samuel hoped that when they saw the small light from his lantern, they would remember something. They would remember that hope is real. That no matter how dark the night gets, there will always be a speck of light to hold on to. Samuel's story is a reflection, a silent lesson from a corner of the city, teaching us all a profound truth: that the true measure of a person is not found in their title or their wealth. Our value is measured by our choice to be a source of goodness for others. Samuel didn't just clean up physical trash. Every night, he lit up hope, chasing away the despair from the souls he would likely never meet. We may not be able to change the entire world, but we can always choose to light one small lantern. Through a sincere smile, a word of encouragement, or simply a willingness to care. So, let us ask ourselves tonight, what lantern will we choose to light for others tomorrow? For we never know if the small light from our lantern might be the one to save someone from their darkest night.